What I did is I looked at things that can make at least a few $100s a month. And as I said, I looked at things that are not too hard to start and don't really cost a lot. You may have to pay subscriptions for some things, or you may use free versions of different AI softwares if they are available, or alternatives. So the first one, and that was like really surprising because I didn't know that it's popular, is dot to dot books. So these are AI generated dot to dot books that are like puzzle activities where images are formed by connecting numbered dots. If I'm pretty sure when you were a kid, you've done something similar. Like your parents have bought you a book and you've done it. And yeah, it said that they are surprisingly popular. So basically, the first thing you need to do is kind of research your niche, because when you go to Amazon, you will kind of see which books are selling. Like for example, look at this one. It's $15 and it has been sold over 1,700 times. I don't even know what it is, but I'm going to click on it and see if they'll show us something. Not really. I was hoping that they'll show us what's inside the book. But yeah, as you can see, freaking 1,700 times dot to dot book. This one, 972 times has been sold for $11. 90. So basically, I would go in and look at all the books that are selling really well and see what kind of niches they're in. And this is what I'd be targeting. Like you need to plan for about 20 to 40 images in a consistent theme for each book. And you can generate the images in image generators like Midjourney. If you don't want to pay for Midjourney, you can try DALL-E, or you can try anything free to create the simple outline drawings. And the other thing is, don't prompt too much, because you don't want images that are very in depth with like backgrounds and all that. You want something that is super, super simple, which will be simple line work. And you can actually prompt it like this. You can say that you want an image that is a simple line work on a white background. And then there's this company called BookBolt Puzzle Wiz. They actually will turn your this is a whole article from them, how to create these dot to dot books. They will actually take your drawing or your image, and they will turn it into a dot to dot puzzle book. So this is something you will have to pay for, because I haven't found a software that is free, but it starts at about $9 per month or $10 a month, which is, I mean, nothing really. Um, so then you will need to use something like Canva, because when we looked at Amazon, you guys saw that they have like really, really nice covers. So you'll need to use something like Canva. You can also create your image in Midjourney, like your cover image in Midjourney, or another AI tool, but use Canva to create the pages with instructions and everything, as well as the cover page. Um, some books have the completed images or an answer key at the end. So this could be something that you can put at the end of your book. I don't think it's necessary, but you will find out how they're selling if you put the images or an answer key at the end against not. And of course, if possible, you should be printing those sample pages and testing them yourselves, because sometimes the dots are not exact. So you may have to adjust them with that Bolt software. And then the easiest thing is to upload to Amazon KDP as a print on demand paper book. Uh, As you saw, some of the books that are selling really well are between $10 and $15. So if you're a newcomer, I would go between six and 10, which will allow you to sell more. And you can also sell on Etsy. I don't know how well they go on Etsy. I've only looked at Amazon, but you can try both. Although Etsy does charge you to put something for sale. I think they charge you like 20 cents or something. And with Amazon, I think you earn about 60% royalties minus the printing costs, which is typically $2, $3 per sale on a $8 book. And top sellers move hundreds of copies monthly, which, if you become a top seller, you can make a pretty decent living for not a lot of effort. Um, and same with the digital downloads. Again, put it between $5 and $10 the price. And these appeal a lot to parents and teachers, and not teachers in schools, but probably teachers in like kindergartens and daycare centers. Um, you can also create three-in-one activity like dot to dot coloring and mazes. And that's once you start selling, this is like your next offer can be like that. And that will allow you to charge premium prices because they will be sold as a full pack. Um, Also, to scale up, you need to produce a new themed book every few weeks minimum. Um, when I did my research, some people say that they do a minimum one a week. Some people said that they do two to three a week. So it will really depend on your time and how involved you want to be in it. Um, and yeah, build a catalog where each title becomes another income stream, and you have a potential to earn a few $100s a month with a four-figure potential for breakout hits, which is, as I said, pretty good for something so simple. Now, the next one is they're personalized storybooks, and that's for children. And they're kind of one of a kind children's stories that are featuring the child's name, likeness, or interests. And parents really love these books because not only they're so unique and personalized to their child, but they're kind of a memento for, to keep. So what you need to do is decide on an angle, and you want to decide on which details exactly you want to personalize: the child's name, the child's appearance, friends, pets, or all of the above. You should have a few flexible template storylines that can be adapted for different details. And you can use any AI to write you like a million storylines, like with children's books, especially for, I would say this is for children under 5. Definitely. This is not for a 10-year-old or a 15-year-old. And these stories can be so simple because nobody is looking at the plots or nobody is looking at how well everything is structured. It's just a fun thing that kids can read or their parents can read to them. And this is like a example, like Johnny goes on a magical adventure to the magical forest to learn how to shoot with bows and arrows. I don't know, something like that. Um, so yeah, as I said, you can use ChatGPT or Claude to draft the story text. I wouldn't go more than 800 words. Sometimes you can get away with a lot less, depending on how your story goes. Of course, include the child personal details, so the stuff that you want to personalize throughout the story, but make it naturally. And of course, refined for age appropriate vocabulary and engaging plot points. So the younger the children, the simpler the story plot should be. You can generate all your illustrations with AI, or if you are doing the child's likeness, you may, and that kind of comes a little bit as a privacy thing, but if people trust you, they will send you a few pictures of your child and you can create a likeness in like Fal AI or any other image generator that uses Flux. And then all the images could feature that child. Um, and yeah, so if they send you the images, you it says right. I did write detailed prompts, including the child's appearance and scene details. But if you can train a model with the child's appearance, then it doesn't have to be that detailed. Especially when it comes to the likeness, it will be child's name in a magical forest or something like that. Once you've got your story and your images, then you need to design your book layout, which could be up to 15, 20 pages with 1, 2 paragraphs and an illustration per page. So just because it's so many pages doesn't mean that the story is really, really long. Because for small children, they like to look at pictures more than to have like a full page of words. And there is a Canva template for children's books, and you can use that. And of course, because it's for small children, use playful fonts and colors that complement the story's theme. Before you send it, make sure that you check it, and make sure that personalization is consistent throughout. Make sure that the name is spelled correctly. And you can also add dedication pages or special messages from parents. And once you're happy with everything, you make the final edits for readability and coherence. Usually, you can just send a PDF to parents if they want to keep the cost down, and they can go to the local printer and print their book. Or you can use Amazon KDP, Lulu, or Blurb for one-off printing. And of course, if you're doing that, don't forget to include your printing and shipping costs in your pricing. Um, these types of books usually go between $30 and $70 for PDFs, and they can go for up to $100 for printed hardcover versions, which includes the $10 or $20 printing costs. And the way you sell that is communicating the uniqueness of the product. Like, this is not something that you can go to your local bookstore or go to Amazon or Kindle and buy it, because it's not customized to their children's details. And this is generally the reason of why we have premium pricing. This is also a great present um, if you go to a child's birthday. Like, it doesn't have to be your own child, it could be anybody's child. And again, this will be a great present, very, very unique. This is another way you can actually sell it. Some upsells and add-ons. You can offer audio narration. And you can charge from $10 on to actually read the book and send it. You can, like, if they didn't give you enough photos to train a model, you can just ask for one photo and just add it on the last page or even on the cover. And the custom messages from parents, we already spoke about them, but these are basically upsells that you can add on to your $30 to $70 or $50 to $100 and charge even more. You can target daycare, kindergarten graduations as well, and you can do a deal with them where they actually sell it and they take a cut out of it. But that means that you'll have a lot of orders without doing any advertising. And corporate branding opportunities. This can also be for adults. So that was really surprising because I went to a forum and people were talking about these books, and somebody said that they actually target corporates when they go on the corporate retreats or something like that. So they do that too. I don't know how well it sells, but people say that they make money with it. And if you do something like the corporates or the kindergartens, you can actually provide some sort of a discount for volume. You can sell on Etsy as a custom product, so they have to pay you and then you will deliver. And you can even when you are listing on Etsy, you can actually show them the different stories you can create, the different scenarios. So you can list your templates, and they can choose a specific template. And of course, the peak sales are usually around holidays and birthdays, and the potential is, $500 plus monthly with just 10 orders at $50 each. So you only need to make 10 sales to make $50. Okay. How are we going so far, guys? Um, is there anything that anybody wants to ask or, um, no? Everybody's doing okay? All right. I'll just have a sip of coffee. Okay, the third one was an AI generated podcast. So you can start a podcast without you being involved in it at all, meaning that you don't have to actually be the person on that podcast. So basically, you generate the scripts, the voiceover, and everything with AI, and that can actually be a great source of income. Basically, the first thing you need to do is to choose your podcast topic and style. You need to select a niche, and I will really like if you want to go with a podcast, I would do a lot of research to see which niches are actually good to go into, because there's a lot of niches that are super saturated. I would probably go with something that is more unique, whatever that thing is, a bit more unique, um, but also that is not as saturated as, like, I would not go for marketing, for example. I will not go for like weight loss or fitness or any of these things. They're so overly saturated. There's so many people that have podcasts that is going to be extremely hard for you to actually start ranking, because ranking is what shows your podcast to the broader audience and what makes people subscribe. And the more subscribers you get, the more money you can make eventually. So basically, you will create your scripts with a Claude or ChatGPT. You can even create your own templates and be like, this is my podcast template, and this is this week's topic, and it will create it super super quickly. Um, yeah, as I said, provide the clear prompts for the topic in desired format. Keep episodes relatively short. I don't know if you guys have watched have listened to some of Gary V's podcasts, because I think he has like three or four of them, but one of them is like under 5 minutes. Like his episodes are like under 5 minutes, and he just gives a quick tip, and that's it. Uh, you can start with a shorter one, and if you get a lot of interest, you can start increasing the time and see how you go. And if you're doing anything that is not entertainment, make sure that you fact check everything. Because, with ChatGPT right now, if you use DeepSeek, then it actually cites the places where it's gotten the information. So, or you can use Perplexity for research if you want to. The voiceover, I would always go with 11 Labs because they have the best and most realistic voices. And I know that maybe a lot of us don't think about it, but the voice, the accent, and the style of that voice really, really matter. Like, really matter. Sometimes, for example, if you decide to create a podcast on a women's issue, getting a voice of an old guy is probably not something that you'd want to do. And I know this is an extreme example, but you know what I'm just trying to explain what uh, how important the voice is. Sorry, I'm just looking through the chat very quickly. um all right. For You can also do interview podcasts. I wouldn't. I've spoken to some people that do, but then you have to have two different not invoices, two different voices, and then you have to really match them when you do your editing. So to start with, I would definitely just do uh, just one person podcast, and make sure that when you are working with voices, you choose a voice that sounds as natural as possible. Some and I've never edited a podcast, but I know that with some of the voices, you can actually adjust the pitch and the emphasis and speed of that voice. If you want to add any music, and I would suggest that you add, some sort of an intro and an outro. You can use Epidemic Sound. This is a paid service or something similar to do the intros and outros, or you can create your own with Suno AI, which is actually super, super cool. And then you can edit your podcast with Audacity or GarageBand. So GarageBand is just for Mac. I think you can download it for PC, but I'm not entirely sure how well it works for PC. But Audacity is probably something that everybody can use. Make sure that you fix any pronunciation issues and awkward pauses. You can use Spotify for podcasters to host as a hosting platform, and all your cover art can be done with Midjourney and Canva, or Midjourney or Canva, or any other image generator. Make sure that when you write your descriptions, they're all SEO optimized, because people do search by keywords when they go and search for podcasts. So try to jam pack them with as many keywords as possible. Oh, by the way, and I should just say that you can use Notebook LM for two voices. And I'm assuming this is free. And we'll talk about monetization in a second. And of course, make sure that you check your analytics consistently to see if what you're producing actually resonates with your listeners. Make sure that you share with relevant communities to build audiences, social media, email list, whatever you have as a free traffic. Make sure that you try to get people to subscribe, and based on your performance data, refine your podcast. And of course, a lot of people, I'm not entirely sure if you're supposed to say that you're using AI for podcasts. A lot of platforms are starting to ask you to um, be upfront and always tell when you're using AI for anything. So maybe podcasts are going the same way. And here we go with the monetization strategies. Um, you can you can use ads, meaning that you can advertise somebody else's products. If you've ever listened to podcasts that are popular, you will see that they always have sponsors, and they charge them. I don't know what the big ones are charging, but typically it's 15 to 25 per CPM. So this is cost per thousand listeners. So if you have 1,000 people on your podcast that are listening, you can probably charge them up to $25. If you have 10,000, you can probably charge 250, something like that. Also, you can use affiliates. So you can promote relevant products and have affiliate links in the show notes. So, for example, if you're doing, say, a travel podcast, you can have like gear or clothing or places people can stay, and all that can be affiliate links. And you can actually earn money even if you have a tiny, tiny little audience. You can also set up a Patreon or buy me a coffee for fan donations. So on Patreon, you can have some exclusive stuff that is not available on your podcast. And Patreon charges, on Patreon, you can charge um, subscriptions, like a monthly subscription. On the other hand, Buy Me a Coffee is literally a donation website where you can charge in, where you can, have a $5 donation, $10 donation, or something like that. And of course, for people that are supporting you, you can offer shout outs in your episodes. And building a community around your content is the best way to increase your listeners, sorry, to increase your audience and your subscribers. And the more subscribers and listeners you have, the more money you can make, of course. Uh, and these are some things you can do to drum up more traffic to your podcast. You can convert the podcast script to blog posts for SEO traffic and send people back to the podcast. You can compile the episode into ebooks or newsletters and charge for them. And you can create YouTube versions. If you want to create an AI personality, you can create a YouTube version, because otherwise people are not. Actually, no, I'm lying. People do listen on YouTube, but they're not as many as they used to be. So you can do a static version with a visualizer, but I don't know how well this will go. Your potential earnings can be, from $50 to $100 a month from ads or affiliates, and that's with small audiences, and several hundred per episode if it's at scale, which means that your podcast is going really, really, really well. And this is some stat that I pulled out. A daily 5-minute podcast with 5K listeners could potentially earn 3,000 a month. Okay, the next one is AI influencers, and they are definitely on the rise. This is something that is going to explode in the next maybe 12 to 24 months, because people are starting to get sick of human influencers, which are, the more money they make, the more like divas they are. And people just don't want to deal with that stuff. So AI influencers are definitely on the rise. And if you create something good, like if you create a great character, you can make a lot of money from it. So the first thing you need to do is to conceptualize your influencer niche, personality, and backstory. You need to come up with the appearance, the name, key traits, because most of these AI influencers actually do have a backstory, and they have a name, and they have likes and dislikes and all that. So just like a human. Like, for example, Ava, a tech-savvy virtual influencer who reviews gadgets, or a fantasy character sharing art adventures. You also need to define the brand identity of that character, age, style, or tone of voice. And then you will be creating your actual avatar. Um, you can use Flux with many different image generators, but I feel the best ones for realistic human-like people, human-like, uh, looking like real humans, avatars, FL AI and Replicate are probably the best. Of course, there's, as I said, there's many, many others, and you can test and see what works for you. But the most important thing is to ensure that your character has distinct and recognizable features. So, for example, a pink hair, or I don't know, a freckly face, or something, just something that is distinctive and people can recognize it easily. Then once you create your content, once you create your avatar, you need to start creating content with that avatar. Now, with AI influencers, money doesn't come fast because first you have to build up audience, which sometimes can be, as fast as a few months, sometimes could be a year. So yes, you can start this little AI side hustle tomorrow, but money may not come until much later. So basically, you need to create social media content that is featuring your virtual persona. And you can use, all of these AI image generators to create all sorts of different surroundings for your character in different situations. You can use ChatGPT to write the captions in the character's voice. And make sure that you have a consistent content calendar. The minimum would be 3 posts weekly, but if you want to grow faster, I would probably do daily. And of course, respond to comments as your character, not as you. So that's why the backstory and everything around this influencer has to be set from the get-go. Just think about actors. When they make a movie, they become a completely different person. And they talk like this person, they think like this person, and they do things like this person. If you want to, you can expand to video. And this is optional because creating the exact same character consistently with video is not as easy as we think. And Asha knows that because she's building consistent characters with video at the moment. And Kling currently is probably the best, um, but you can, it is expensive to run if you want to do video. So if I was to do an influencer, I will stick to just images, at least for now, at least until I start making money. And of course, using hashtags, doing collaborations with other creators or AI personas, a great way to grow your audience, engagement in communities, in your character's interest areas. So if your character is, I don't know, a fitness model, you should go to and engage with communities that are in fitness. And always be transparent about your character being AI generated. So once you have the audience, once you have the following, then you can start approaching the brands as the manager for your virtual influencer. And once you start showing really great engagement stats and audience demographics, then people will start paying attention. And you can charge for promoted content a few hundred, and that's about a few $100 per post with about 10,000 followers. So your first milestone is to get to that 10,000 followers. And of course, you can use the uniqueness of your AI influencer as a selling point, especially if they are really, really distinctive. And you can, again, use affiliate marketing. So you can, before you start approaching brands for deals, you can start trying to make some money yourself by recommending products with affiliate links. And that works like any other affiliate marketing. Make sure that you focus on items that are relevant to your influencer's niche. And you can place these links in bios, story swipe ups, or anywhere else. Like if you're doing something on Facebook, it can be in the description. Unfortunately, with Instagram, we still cannot click on links in the captions. Maybe they'll change it one day, maybe not. And you can also sell merchandise featuring your character's image or catchphrases. You can launch products that align with your influencer's brand. And you can also do and sell music tracks, digital art, or physical products featuring your AI influencer. You can also license your character for commercials or brand ambassadorships. Again, this will be stuff that you'll be doing after you have, a minimum of 10,000 followers. The more followers you have, the more deals you'll get. You can create your own YouTube content for ad revenue if you want to, if you're going with video, which is hard. And you can again create a Patreon subscription for exclusive content for you with your AI avatar. So at 10K followers and small deals, you can make a few $100s. Mid-tier, which is tens of thousands of followers, you can charge $1,000 plus per post or monthly package. And the top virtual influencers can get really, really big brand deals. But that is like once you get into the millions of followers, which I think that there might be only one influencer, AI influencer at the moment that is in the millions. Most of them around the 300 mark, 300,000. Okay, the next one is a little bit boring, but it's very doable. It requires extremely little investment, and that's writing resumes and cover letters for people that are looking for jobs. Basically, you need to create a couple of resume templates. You can compile a list of powerful action verbs and industry specific keywords. And then you can develop a standard structures for cover letters and prepare a blueprint to streamline your process. So that's probably the most work you need to do, because after that, all you need to do is get the client information. If you need to collect work history, education, certifications, target jobs, etc., specific achievements they want to highlight. And also, if you can get the job descriptions of the jobs they're applying for, is going to go a long way into creating a really nice resume. And then you can add your template. You can upload your template to ChatGPT or Claude and give all the details of your client. And both of them will make a really nice resumes. They'll write really nice resumes. There's a couple of more things that you may or may not like. They're just suggestions that I picked up from AI to create accomplishment-focused bullet points with action verbs, generate a tailored professional summary, ensure content aligns with target roles. Whether this applies to the resumes you write or not, that's up for you to decide. And you'll do the same with the cover letter. You'll prompt the AI to write a personalized cover letter. You'll include key skills and experiences relevant to the job, and you'll add personal touches that connect the client to the company. And one thing that you always need to make sure is that it doesn't sound generic. Because when people read generic stuff, they kind of throw it in the garbage very, very fast. Okay. You can charge 75 to 150 for a resume and cover letter for early to mid-career professionals. I would probably not go with entry level because a lot of them don't want to pay for resumes. So I'll go mid-career and further up. And of course, increase your rates for senior or specialized roles. Most people will find you on platforms like Fiverr or Upwork. It's very, very hard to just sell it unless you you know somebody at a university, or you know somebody at a corporate level that can actually feed you with leads. So you always need to take into account that you'll be paying at least 20% for those platforms. So if you're charging $100, 20%, $20 of that will go to that platform. And you can, of course, have tiered offerings. You can have just basic, which is just the resume or just the cover letter. You can have standard both documents, and you can even add a premium service where you even go into their LinkedIn profile and optimize it for this specific job. You can also upsell thank you email templates or brief coaching sessions as well. Usually you'll be doing this in just 2 or 3 hours, which is not a lot. So if you're charging $150, that's about $50 an hour. Yeah, about $50 an hour. And you can handle multiple clients per week. So the potential to earn is maybe $500+ per week, which puts you at about $2,000 a month. Yeah, if you don't want to go with these platforms like Fiverr and Upwork, you need to start building a reputation based on clients and getting more on clients getting more interviews. You need to establish relationships with universities, boot camps, or any corporate organization. Word of mouth, once you start getting more clients, and if they're getting the jobs with your resumes, they will actually tell other people. And corporate outplacement service opportunities, that's what I said before when I said corporate, and they're called corporate outplacement service opportunities. So yeah, starting at $400 a month for clients at $100, growing 400 to 800, and established, $2,000 a month, which is not bad for a side hustle. Okay. On number 6 is AI generated meal plans. And there also, that surprised me how many people actually buy that. Because when I was thinking about meal plans, I was thinking about weight loss. Like it always comes to weight loss in my head when it's like a meal plan. But then I went and looked, and there's like people that have dietary goals, which is the weight loss and muscle gain, maintenance, health issues. For example, if they are lactose intolerant, they'll need specific meals, restrictions or preferences, calorie targets, meal frequency, food dislikes, available cooking time, for busy people. So there's so many things that you can target and write meal plans for. So the first thing you need to do is choose your target audience. Like, is it busy professionals? Is it those with dietary restrictions? Is it families that have multiple children and they don't have time to cook? And you just need to determine your specialization before expanding if you want to go into other target audiences. So if I'm doing just dietary restrictions, I'll do that until I have enough sales before I go for busy professionals or something like that. Again, you can use ChatGPT or Claude to input the details and to request a structured meal plan with appropriate calorie levels or restrictions or anything. You can generate the full recipes or the key ingredients, and you can also request nutritional breakdowns if needed for the people that are very, very specific on their either nutrition or calories. Once you've done all the groundwork, you will create a professional PDF with your branding. You organize by time and meal. You'll include recipes or links to recipes. I would probably prefer to write my own recipes rather than, taking people outside of my domain. You can add a grocery list, and you can include personalized introduction and conclusion sections. And you can also offer this somewhere. You can have an offer to do it on a subscription base. You usually 99% of the time you'd send this plan on an email. Sometimes people prefer some other platforms, but as I said, 99% of the time is an email. And you'll highlight how it meets the client's specific needs, and you offer if needs, you offer adjustments for food preferences. Also, another thing that will keep you in your customers' minds is follow-up check-ins after the first implementation. And that will allow you to get feedback, whether it's good or bad, but based on this feedback, you can adjust for your next client. And how much money you can make is between $20 and $100 for one-off custom plans, and that will depend on the length and customization. You can charge 1 week basic plans for $20 to $30, 4 week comprehensive plans $80 plus, and if you want to charge more, you actually have to justify your pricing by emphasizing that it's completely personalized. It's not a generic thing. And that's why you will be getting details from these people, from your clients, before you create these meal plans. And subscriptions, as I said before, you can offer recurring weekly or monthly plan updates, and specific subscription packages for ongoing clients. You can also offer some upsell, like consultation calls, offer shopping list organization, or provide meal prep tips or cooking demonstrations if you're good at cooking. Your potential earnings are, first you can start with about $200 a month, move to 400, say 8 plans at $50 each. And the more clients you get, the more money you'll be making every single month. The next one, and this one is probably the one that I'll look at the least, but I put it in here because there's still a lot of money to be made, but it's hard. And that's print on demand designs. Unless you're creating some incredible designs, you'll be competing with a lot of people. And yes, you can make money, and it's going to cost you very little to list these products, but it is hard to sell. So you'll be selling on sites like Redbubble, Etsy, or Amazon. And you'll be using ChatGPT and Claude to generate ideas for text-based designs, for example, slogans, puns, quotes. Or you can use Midjourney or another AI image generator to create the images. So you can do either, or you can do both. You can do text, you can do images. You will upload them to one of these platforms here, and you can basically put them on whatever item you want: mugs, t-shirts, bags, anything, phones, phone cases, all of that. And it's basically rinse and repeat in multiple niches. The thing with this type of product is that you need big volume. You really, really need volume. You need lots and lots of designs, because this will give you more chances for sales. And yes, with AI, you can create hundreds of designs relatively quickly, but don't forget that a lot of people are doing the same. So you still need to create something that is unique and memorable. You can also, if you want to go the e-com way and do it yourself, you will have to build a branded store, which will actually cost you money. and you will need to develop social media presence around your designs, and but that will give you the potential to charge premium prices for branded merchandise. However, if I'm just starting, I would keep with Redbubble, Etsy, and Amazon until I start making at least some sort of money. And the earnings vary because of the design and quality and and everything else. You can make from $2 to $8. As you can see, it's not a lot. Um, and success often comes from volume, as we mentioned before. But as I said, if I'm looking at all of this is probably the last thing I would do. The next one is, and we only have three more to go, is voiceover narration services. So a lot of people would want their sorry, I lost my thought there for a second. A lot of people would want some sort of a voiceover. And this will be for audiobooks, for ads or commercials, for educational explainer videos or something. And a lot of people actually don't know that they can use AI for that. And this is something you can offer. 11 Labs, once again, is the top dog. So if I'm doing anything with voice, the first place I will look at is 11 Labs. And you'll just need to decide on your pricing structure, whether this is per word, per minute, or per project. You'll need to create packages. For example, so much money for up to 500 words can be like, I don't know, $70 for up to 500 words. Factor in the AI tool costs. So 11 Labs, if you're a power user, you may be paying, up to $50 or $100 a month. But that's for power users. You can start at about $20, but it only gives you so many credits that you can use. Make sure that your turnaround times is something that you highlight, because the reason you use AI voiceovers is because you can do it in like only a few minutes. If you use humans, they usually have other projects. So once they take on the project, it could be 5 to 10 days until they return the ready product. With AI, especially people that are really especially for people that need it really really fast, and they want quick turnarounds, AI voiceovers are really really great alternative. Also, the other thing is, if you're creating if you're doing a voiceover for something, for someone, you can say, hey, I can also do it in so many other languages. So if it's a commercial, you can actually do it in English, in Spanish, in French, in German, in all kinds of different languages, and just give them the voiceovers in different languages. And that will allow you to charge even more when you offer that. Um, um, Again, you can list your services on freelance platforms like Fiverr and Upwork. You can approach content creators directly. And maybe in the beginning, you can offer some free or very discounted services to build your portfolio. Also, you can either go broad or you can specialize in a niche. And the example I've given here is audiobook narrator for indie sci-fi authors or something like that. And again, for books, to be able to give them a voiceover in different languages will allow these people to sell to a lot larger audiences than just the language the book is written in. Your production workflow would be to read the scripts first to identify challenging pronunciations. You can also request pronunciation guides for names or technical terms. You will generate the audio in manageable sections. For example, if you're doing audiobooks, they could be quite long. So you'll need to just do it in batches. And then you can edit in software like Audacity to ensure quality and make sure that you deliver professional audio files, which will be the MP3 or the WAV. And make sure that you always offer revisions, because a lot of the times people would want at least one or two revisions, and make sure that you take all this into consideration when you quote a price. There's some projected earnings here, which is about, and how much to charge, about $10 per 100 words for basic voiceovers. Audiobook rates are generally 30 to 50 per finished hour, which is lower than humans, who charge between 50 and 200. But once again, you're not doing the work. AI is doing the work, so you can charge a lot less and turn around each project much faster, so you can have many projects on the go. And always highlight the value, quality, and turnaround times despite the low rates. As I said, because it's AI generated, you can handle multiple projects simultaneously and do quicker rounds that will allow you for more gigs. And the potential is to earn $100 a day with a couple of 1,000 word projects, which means that you can make a pretty good living of, $2,500 to $3,000+ a month. Again, I mentioned it before, to expand your market with multilingual voiceovers. And for that, you charge for less common languages, you will charge premium. So if somebody goes, hey, can you do this in Mongolian? You'll charge a little bit more. And yeah, your potential earnings to start with a few $100 to $1,000 to $2,000 to $3,000 monthly. The second last one we have is to actually create music for content creators, because a lot of content creators need music, but as we all know, a lot of them get into a lot of trouble with copyrights. And you can define the music or genre that you're going to offer, and you can determine your service model depending on who you want to work with. The channels you can use are, again, Fiverr and Upwork. You can list your services there, and make sure that you focus on quality and originality and quick turnarounds, and set the prices per length or complexity. You can also use platforms like Pond5, Audio Jungle, or Shutterstock to actually have music that you've already done in there for sale. I don't know why this is here, music. And you need to upload multiple tracks to build a catalog. And make sure that your content is unique and copyright free. But if you're creating it yourself, it will be copyright free, usually. You can charge about $50 for a 2-minute custom track, but you may have to start with less, and you scale your pricing based on length and complexity. You probably earn, so if you are on these websites here, these platforms here, you will probably earn $5 to $15 per track license. And again, with these types of platforms, volume is always the key. If you're selling 50 tracks once, you can earn $250 to $750. So in order to be successful on these websites, because again, there's lots and lots of people doing exactly the same thing, so the competition is high, is to have a really large catalog of quality tracks. You can, again, offer Patreon or similar subscription model where people can download exclusive tracks that are not available anywhere else. And for example, if you have 10 subscribers at $20 a month, that's $200 monthly recurring revenue. The more people you have, the more recurring revenue you'll make. But the thing is to actually make sure that there's always something new for them to download. So it could be, 10 tracks every month, 10 new tracks every month. Otherwise, people just, if they're not getting what they're paying for, they'll just leave. And just because I said 10 trucks every month doesn't mean that it has to be 10 trucks. I don't know. You just have to test it. Okay, our last one is an AI research assistant. Um, a lot of people actually do need this service, and a lot of people don't know that they can offer this service because there's a lot of academics that need it, or they need summaries, they need research for both students and researchers in universities. A lot of businesses, a lot of big companies do a lot of research, whether it's on trends, competitors, or whatever. Also, content for writers and creators, and just general knowledge for busy individuals. But these three are something that is very much in demand, and you can make pretty good money with it. You can use research tools like Perplexity Pro or ChatGPT 4.5 Deep Search, which is actually pretty good. And all you need to do is create a standardized intake process, and you can create your own templates for common deliverables and establish organization systems for managing multiple clients. But I can tell you, if you get into one of those sectors here, you will have more work that you can handle, especially with academics and businesses. With writers, it may not be, it could be a lot if a lot of writers start using you. If you're working with just one writer, it may not be that often, but it will be prolonged. So this is a great little AI side hustle to get into. You can charge per summary or per research, because some people would just want summaries. I don't know why they would, but they obviously they do. I was in one forum where they were discussing that, and somebody was working with a law company that the only thing they wanted was deep research, but then just summaries of the stuff that person researched. You can package options like summarize up to 5 articles, or because that person, they were summarizing specific law articles that were coming out of some courts. Or you can do project-based pricing, which is often much better than hourly. I almost never, I don't say never, never, but almost never, 99.9%, I would charge per project rather than hourly. Because if you're using AI, you may do it in half an hour. And if you're charging per hour, and you're charging even $100 an hour, as opposed to $250 per project, you just shoot yourself in the foot. As I said, these three sectors here, you can actually get recurring work all the time. So if possible, secure some sort of a monthly arrangement, and that will allow you to provide regular research, or you can provide regular research updates or monitoring services as an add-on. You can start with a few $100s a month from sporadic gigs, but then you can very, very quickly go to $2,000 plus with regular clients. And this is actually something that has a full-time earning potential. With and you will not need to, you only need to pay for either Perplexity, which is $20, or for ChatGPT, which is also $20. This will be everything that you'll be paying for to do this whole gig.